Welcome back to Cinema Flicks Music Picks. I'm Davey, your host with the most, the beast with the least. The least I can do today is do the video I've been promising for about 3 weeks, maybe, which is pickups and Blu-rays the last month or so. Bit of news though, I got a new computer delivered from work. And usually they ship these things so you can't just, go bananas and do whatever you want. They just delivered me a new Dell, so I'm just sitting here having the time of my life. I was about to buy a new laptop with this month's paycheck. But hey, so waste not, one not. Just, it's my bandwidth, it's my internet. So if I want to make some videos, fuck will work. The unnamed work for the purposes of this video. So, it's cool. I had a little play about, and I saw, all these people that use the background, they're in space, they're at the Golden Gate. Why are they at the Golden Gate Bridge all the time? I don't understand. They're at grass, they're blurred. I go with this particular filter. It's what I call the unfinished movie room. Yeah, with the lather that's gathering dust. That patch of grey, which has become a bit of a fixture in the room now. But let's crack on, shall we? So, pickups for this month: music and movies. That's what we do in the channel, isn't it? By the way, I don't even need to wear a microphone as well, apart from the one I wear for my drug busts and things. With the cartels. So first off, I picked up the HMV exclusive of the Batman. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's quite a new character. It's in a nice box set. It comes in a steep book, and then there's this little pouch which is full of posters and postcards and all sorts. So it's a nice 4K. The movie's just, why did people rave about this? I watched this and it was all right. Just kind of think I'm taking it back afterwards. They don't bother to introduce anybody. It's just like, hey, there's Commissioner Gordon. We don't need to introduce him. You know him from other movies. Hey, there's Bruce Wayne. What's his character? I don't know. Have you seen the Chris Nolan movies? Pretty much just that. They don't bother to do any of that kind of stuff. So if they don't care, why should I? Matt Reeves, you disappointed me, man. You and your Apes movies were fan-fucking-tastic. But that was just okay. But Paul Dano's fantastic. The cast are all good. It's just, character, man. Where's character? I've got character. That's what counts, right? Let's bat through. Arrow had a sale the other day of 80s cult movies. Because remember when that's all they used to do? Now it's like a niche. And this one, I don't know, it's been on my list for a while, but it went down to £10. So it'd be rude not to. And you can use points in the sale now, so I got it for £6. It's Don't Go in the House. It's remember the dude that played the twins in The Sopranos? It's him in a kind of psycho-y 80s slashery type thing. But, Arrow nonsense from the 80s. Hokum, if you will. Simon, Time Lord 007, there's your shout out. Hokum, your favourite bloody word. You said I never give you a shout out, even though you comment in every video. There's your shout out. Hokum. Talking about cults, and that's cults, by the way, C-U-L-T-S, not C-U-N, never mind. Talking about cult movies. You don't get much more culty than this. Warriors came out to play. This is the Imprint box set edition, now sold out directly. You can still just about get it in the secondary market. Please pick it up while it's still available, because the main reason everybody wants this is just because yes. So, right, here's your bonus disc. Loads of good stuff. But this here is the theatrical cut, which has never been on Blu-ray. The only version we've had is Walter Hill's director's cut. Normally people go, oh yeah, I like director's cut. But this director's cut if you've seen The Warriors on Bluray, it's full of those awful comic book transitions. It just ruins the movie, man. So yeah, that's Warriors have finally come out to play, and this time they ain't playing. Yeah, this time they're playing for keeps. I should have answered that. More 70s cult goodness. The late, great Jonathan Demme. 101 Films have released Where's Mama? Where you been so long? So I'm still getting used to the light with this new setup. I will move things around, but yeah. So this is his Roger Corman era. Jim Backus is in this, and Stuart Whitman. It's a bit of a mental beauty parlor movie, road trip style. And then Women in Prison movie, Caged Heat, also from Jonathan Demme, with a wonderful cast, including Barbara Steele, and music by John Cale. That's right, Paris 1919 himself, Mr. Velvet Underground. Yes, he's the most famous member of Velvet, so isn't he? Not Lou Reed. So we've been doing cult movies. Studio Canal have literally just started a line of cult classics. So the first one, I never pronounced the fucking name right off, is a Polizioteca by Enzo G. Castellari, who's had a lot of stuff out this year, isn't it? Last year or so, from Arrow and whatnot. It's high crime, high time for high crime. So yeah, Franco Nero, Fernando Rey, it's the 2 year big hitters from not just cult movies of the 70s, but mainstream movies of the 70s. Because Fernando Rey's your baddie from the French Connection, for goodness sake. James Whitmore is in there as well. Just crime thriller. Fun till your daddy takes T-Bird away. And then talking of, yeah, hasn't Enzo G. Castellari had such a great year? Yes, he has, because here's another one, which also stars Frank Wolf and Chuck Connors. Yeah, Chuck Connors, there you go. So, yeah. Alex Cox, the great Alex Cox, the director, does a commentary on this one. So, yeah. Spaghetti Western, 1864, very much in the style of the knockoff of Leone, so not quite to the standard of Leone, but the knockoff Leone. So and then we've done Walter Hill already with the Warriors, but hey, this is one of my favorites of Walter Hill's, man. I've got the German, but the minute they announced this with so many extras, I was like, ching. Extreme Prejudice. The light's really weird here with this new. You think the light would be better with a new cam, wouldn't you? With the setup, but yeah. Anyway, so Nick Nolte, but it's one of those casts that's just the testosterone stripping. It's got my main man is the baddie, Powers Booth. I love me some Powers Booth. Is like just next to Stacey Keach and my kind of up there with my kind of 70s, 80s just dudes. But it's also got Rip Torn, Michael Ironside, Thingmy's in it as well, Clancy Brown. Thingmy's in it as well, by the way. Thingmy's in a lot of things. Mario Alonso from Running Man and Vampire's Kiss. So yeah, this is a fantastic neo-Western, because it is set in the modern day, or contemporary, so the 80s. But it's very much if you want the A-Team crossed with just a kind of canon movie, but done really, really well, so not a cheesy movie, this is your way. This is the way. What's that? This is the way. Oh, it's that Jedi passion. Oh, you man, babies, like. File under Not Quite Hammer. So, it's not quite there, but it does have the wonderful Barbara Shelley in it. Blood of the Vampire. I'm really going to have to do something about where I position this table, because look at that. I mean, the glare is just like... So your eyes aren't deceiving you here. The Donald Wolfe, is made up to look like Bela Lugosi. Barbara Shelley, the great Barbara Shelley from, Quatermass and the Pit, and Dracula, Prince of Darkness. She was one of the first real women of Hammer before they went into that, trope of what was just about, who's the most buxom woman. She was the kind of intelligent woman of Hammer. So yeah, from the European Cult Cinema Collection, from Nucleus Films, and it is absolutely stacked. If that, I've not even tried to anything up yet. Is that going to give us any bit? I thought it might do. Yeah, look at that. You actually will read something for a change on this channel. Yeah, so I'm stacked. Mastered from the vaults with all sorts of extras that ain't on the Shout Factory. The Shout Factory one was bare bones. This one, fair to say, not so bare bones after all. Remember Jimmy Stewart, man? Well, welcome back, as I said in my return video, my return to prominence. But picked up some Jimmy Stewart that I don't already have. Well, actually, one I do have, and it's an upgrade. But yeah. On Our Merry Way is an anthology film, kind of presented by Burgess Meredith, 40s film. So Jimmy and Henry Fonda are in a quarter of it. It's Burgess Meredith's a reporter who asks, what influence has a baby had in your life? And you get these kind of vignette stories. Unfortunately, Jimmy and Henry don't play a gay couple in the 40s who adopt a baby. Wouldn't that have been a nice farce for the 40s? Can you imagine that? And then the other Jimmy pickup, just released by the good folks at Warner Archives. Listen to this for a cast. Lana Turner, Hedy Lamarr, that's Hedley, Blazing Saddles reference for the kids there. Judy Garland, I think she was in A Star Is Born. No, wait, that was Lady Gaga. No, I'm sorry. It's Barbra Streisand. And of course, Jimmy Stewart. So it's the Siegfried Girl. So 1940s musical par excellence. Actually, it's not that great. But I've bought it twice, so hey. There are quite a few special features on this with some good audio outtakes of songs and things that weren't included in the original, just didn't say much. An introduction by Judy Garland's biographer, musical shorts, and some cartoons and things. It's splendiferous, an eye-filling spectacle. An eye-filling spectacle is also the premise of a horror movie by Lucio Fulci. We won't go into that. This was a pickup from Network, who were selling it for like £3. And I was like, what the? So it's James Mason's first kind of breakout role, but it stars the great Lionel Atwill from Son of Frankenstein and things. It's the High Command. So this is a kind of colonial movie. Thurl Dickinson's debut as a director. West Africa 37, a medical officer's attached to garrison. There's a murder and a court martial and a cover-up. So it's a bit The Hill. It's a bit what was that one I was thinking of there? Care Bears 2. It's a good movie though. Good movie. And then one I was telling Mr. Pete Pardo about, where he said, where is our Jekyll and Hyde Bluray? That's not how you talk at all. I can't do Pete. I can do loads of impressions, but I can't do Pete. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Theatre and I say I can't really do Pete. Yeah. We're here on YouTube. I'll need to work on it. Sorry, Pete. So this is the 1941 Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, although it was written by Robert Louis Stevenson, a Scot, so it should be pronounced Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but nobody ever pronounces it correctly. So this is the 1941 Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So Spencer Tracy, Lana Turner again, Ingrid Bergman's in there, Donald Crisp, C. Aubrey Smith, all-star cast. Ingrid Bergman, geez Louise. It's a great version of a film that's had a million great versions. I covered a couple with Pete on Sea of Tranquility, where we did I, Monster. We both picked that in our top 10 Amicus movies. So, yeah, and the Monsters down. Speaking of horror, this is the 1932, I want to say. Yes, of course it is. David Boyd doesn't make mistakes. Limited edition and very nearly sold out, so get on it like a bonnet, of Carl Theodor Dreyer's, the great Danish director's Vampire. Now, this is not Dracula. This is not universal horror. This is a very cerebral and deep version of what a vampire tale would be. It's a real evocation of what the journey would be like. There's a lot of unease and audacious camera work and sound design that was way above what anybody at Universal was thinking of at the time. And it's absolutely stacked with extras. As you can imagine, they want to go all out for a nice, 90th anniversary edition of Vampire, directed by Carl Dreyer. And there's some Bluray itself there. So, although this is nearly sold out, they knew it was going to sell out fast, because look, they've already got the barcode, or the whatever you call it in America, the PVC code. I want to say that, but that sounds a bit Dutchy, doesn't it? The PVC code. It's the do's and don'ts of BDSM. So, they're ready to just put this exact copy into shops with a barcode on and everything. So you'll just ditch the box and book. But that's a sad loss, because it is a terrific book. I read it all the other day. So that if I do a video about it in its entirety, I can sound like I've actually come up with some ideas and some theories, whereas I've just stolen them. That's just randomly sitting there. It should be over there. If you did see my return video, which was probably the best comeback since Lazarus, then you will have seen that or heard that I went to see Top Gun Maverick with Paul and my little buddy Leon. And it was a pleasant surprise. It was really fun. I enjoyed it tremendously. So in the spirit of it, and after a little bit of enjoying myself later that day, because it was a bit of a day. I won't fill you in the details, but I bought the box, the first one on 4K. So it's got this spot gloss cover, and again, it's a big old honking box set. It's got original, strike that reverse, original theatrical poster, production notes, booklet, dialogue and continuity scripts. That's cool, because you actually get the full script. So you can, you and your friends can play Iceman and Goose and Maverick, and one of you can be Kelly McGillis and not have any action. And if you have any more friends, they can just sit in the corner and sing like Kenny Loggins or Berlin songs. Lobby cards, 4K, obviously, with all new special features, and then all the original special features are carried over. So yeah, Top Gun. I think it's going places, this movie. I think it's going to catch on and really do well for that young Tom fellow. I'm sure he's a good Christian boy. Anybody know anything about his religion? I'm sure there's no controversy there at all. Actually, I think I'd rather be a Scientologist. Well, no, I better not say that. My Mormon friends might not like it. Anyway, speaking of box sets of individual movies that don't really need to be box sets, but the curse is real indeed. Here's Wild Things from Arrow. This is the Zavvi exclusive version, which is the Steelbook box set. So instead of just the movie in a cardboard box, you get the movie Steelbook in a cardboard box too. So you get that. See? Isn't that nice? Yeah. It's not that interesting, is it? Yeah. So poster, book. Wild Things, good 90s neo-noir. If you like your Matt Dillon, your Kevin Bacon, your Nev Campbell. Larkin's Fire Sale. I ordered this and I posted it on my Facebook 4 years ago. and it turned up about 3 weeks ago. The same order. Amazon kept apologising for being delayed and refunding me £5. So I think they've paid me to take this off them by the time it's finished. Alan Arkin only directed this and Little Murders. This is nowhere near as good as Little Murders. Oh, sweet Jesus, was it not as good as Little Murders? But hey, it's Alan Arkin, so, you know. Licorice Pizza, the new Paul Thomas Anderson film. So, you know, stars, what's her name from Haim, one of the Haims, I suppose. And also, where is he? Well, there it is, there. Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. What's his actual name? Cooper Hoffman. And it also has Bradley Cooper, Sean Penn, Tom Waits, and Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers. I hate the Safdie brothers movies. Actually, I like some of them, but God, they really, see if you ever listen to their special features and things, they fucking love themselves so much. That's my job. 90s cult, hard watch. Before there was American History X, there was Romper Stomper. So this has just been released by 88 Films. Russell Crowe's breakout performance, not including Neighbours. So it's when he was still in Australia, and he's, of course, a skinhead. And, you know, neo-Nazism always deserves that nice spot varnish cover, doesn't it? There's the DVD cover that I remember from back in the day. So, yeah, this was one of the first DVDs that I owned, because it was one of the first DVDs that started to go cheap. Deadly Prey 1 and Deadly Prey 2, Deadliest Prey. First one is a really bad Rambo rip-off. First Blood rip-off, I should say. The second one was made like 30 years later and is a piss take of the first one. And I didn't like that because it's really annoying, and it now knows that it's making fun of itself as a bad movie. I don't really like that intentionally bad movie shtick. But the first one is quite a good, you know, just sit and enjoy it. I mean, it pulls a guy's arm off and beats him to death with it. Cameron Mitchell's in here, the great Cameron Mitchell. En français, Jean-Luc Godard and Godard et Goragne. So 5 films from the French Mavericks. So it's After Weekend in 1967, I want to say. Yeah, just checking the days. Yeah, and these are by far Godard's most experimental works. So really choppy. He's experimenting with editing, with composition, with juxtaposition. It's film student wankery galore, but it's Godard in the 60s, man. So, you know, it's still pretty fantastic. And I think the last 2 for cinema flicks are a double of Gaspar Noé films. Lux Aeterna is his new one. This is Charlotte Gainsborough's in it, and Beatrice Dallier from Betty Blue. They play themselves, and it was shot over 5 days and mostly improvised. But you know, it's really fucking nuts even for him. And I don't know, I quite like the idea of letting really creative people improvise, but then you remember there's a reason why writers exist. But Gaspar Noé is not really about the writing. He's a visualist. He's a sensist. He makes you feel. He's a provocateur. There you go. Nice French word. And here's one of his other earlier works, Into the Void, again with a Spock cover. Well, what's about these Spock gloss covers? This is 8 years after his Irreversible kind of made him a name. Gaspar Noé made this. French Extremity. It's a kind of hallucinatory take on life, death, and you know, all that jazz. It's set in Tokyo. There's tragedy. It's a kind of psychedelic melodrama. It's absolutely nuts. There's a really, really heavy hypnotic electronic experimental ambient soundtrack over the top of it, which is kind of cool. And again, being Arrow, they have absolutely packed up stuff. So yeah, but Gasper Noise not for everyone, but hey. Well, let's batter through some music picks while you're here. The Steve Rothery Band live in Plovdiv, which is Bulgaria, isn't it? Plovdiv. Is it? Have I just made that up? Yes, Plovdiv, Bulgaria, 2013, CD and DVD. All new stuff from Steve. Well, I say all new stuff as in it's all new stuff for this set, but he does some takes on Marillion stuff. So he does like this, but just the solos. So he does like just his solo from Strange Engine, just his solo from Sugar Mice, just his solo from Easter. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, I like Brothers. That's why I bought it. Big Country. I was talking to a bunch of the guys on what video was it? Ryan's video, was it? Oh, crikey, I've been on so many bloody videos in the past week or joining in on them, I can't remember. In fact, it was Grant's, I do beg your pardon, Grant's Rock Warehouse, house with an H-A-U-S, like Thingamy House, Bela Lugosi's dead. What are they called again? Bauhaus? Yeah, Bauhaus. And one of my picks for acts of the early 80s who were part of the second British invasion was Big Country. And this is a CD that I've been meaning to pick up for ages. It's eclectic. Eclectic by name and nature because it's got some really weird shit on here. It's got them covering Big Yellow Taxi by Joni Mitchell, Buffalo Skinners, you know, the old traditional. Summertime, the living is easy. The band, the night they drove Old Dixie down. Never heard of it. Ellen Rigby by the Beatles. Just go through the covers. I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. Some up and comer, no doubt. And then, you know, there are some Big Country tracks come back to me where the Roses song. And then a Stones track to round it off, Ruby Tuesday. So this, unfortunately, is one of the last things released before Stuart killed himself. So. Hey! Nice way to bring you all down. Steve Forbert, singer-songwriter that I absolutely adore from the 70s. Shouldn't have remained in the 70s, just should have still been, not if not a household name, then at least, you know, a name. This is his album from 2000, right, it's small, that's 2018-ish. Ah, fuck it, 2018. Early Morning Rain. And this is also a kind of covers album. Well, as a covers album, it does Early Morning Rain, which is Gordon Lightfoot. Box of Rain, a lot of rain here, which is Grateful Dead, isn't it? Your Song, not Your Song, but Your Song by Elton John. Supersonic Rocket Ship by the Kinks. Good old Ray. Suzanne, the Leonard Cohen classic. Here's one. They always throw this in, don't they? One where they can put themselves down as traditional arranged by, so they can at least get one song written credit. Frankie and Johnny, traditional arranged by. Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues. And the last track is Bob Dylan cover, Dignity, from the great Oh Mercy album from 1989, produced by Daniel Lanois. This wasn't though, so fuck it. It's a good album though. I like Steve Forbert. It didn't have to be that way. One I should have picked up ages ago, The Grid and Fripp. Came out last year. Leviathan, great ambient stuff. If you like your Fripp and Eno, if you like Fripp when he's doing his much more ambient stuff, just pick it up. It's just fantastic. You get a DVD audio with it as well, 5.1, so you can, you know, stick it on the soundbar and it'll sound fantastic. Some of you have seen that I picked up Doug Pinnick's side project on vinyl, Super Shine. We discussed that on Ryan's channel. And this is Doug's first solo album. Pound Hound was the name he was going under at the time. Massive grooves from the electric church of psycho-funkadelic grungealism rock music. That is literally the title. I think I'm making it up. So this has just been re-released, 2022 release, came out in 1998. So King's X were still a going concern at the time, but Doug was starting to venture out. Blind Eye was written by Doug and Sly Stone, which is really cool. Unfortunately, Sly's not on the album, but he is here in writing. And one thing that's rather odd about it is, first of all, Doug there was 52. Okay. Man never ages. And you get a baseball card, really, with the foil on it. And it does look as if he's doing something dirty there, doesn't it? But it's actually his guitar, if you can, even in person, it's quite hard to make out. And it gives you a little bio of the, this is number 161. I'm hoping to trade it for Stephen Wilson. Oh, somebody's trying to get a hold of me. I am terribly popular, That's two people. Don't like being that popular. Back to Steve Rodri, Marillion's new live, Bluray, recorded over the Marillion weekend of 2019. There's about 4.5 hours worth of music here. They do the entirety of Happiness is the Roads, the 2009 album. They always do like one of their classic albums, and sometimes not even a classic album, but just like a fan fave or just one that has an anniversary. So Happiness is the Road gets done in its entirety here. But then Disc 2 from Leicester is just a kind of greatest hitsy thing, but just the greatest hitsy from Marillion. It's my 319th Marillion live release, and I don't care. Too late to turn back now. Still more Marillion connections. Pete on bass is also, of course, in Transatlantic. Here's the Bluray of Transatlantic's Absolute Universe. So Transatlantic with Neil Morse and that drummer guy that's on all these things. Rather bizarrely, they give you just the cover reversible with a German. So obviously they didn't want to, they were hinging their bets about not having to print too many here because, But yeah, so we'll give them credit. Mike Portnoy's on it. But Transatlantic, you can't go wrong with them. Neil Morse and Mike must release about 300 things a year between them. They make Pete and his, Marillion appearances look laid back, and they put out a live album every other week. Insurgentes, directed by Lassie Hoyle, musical road movie about Stephen Wilson's solo record of the same name. It's got the DVD of the album as well, 5.1. Then you get Disc 2 of a Stephen Wilson concert live in Mexico City, unreleased recordings from the album sessions. It's about 4 hours worth of stuff here. So if you like, early solo Stephen Wilson, and I quite like most Stephen Wilson, but if you like early solo Stephen Wilson, there you go. Right back to the 60s here with Bluray Audio, one of the classic summer albums of Brazilian samba, Gets Gilberto. The Girl from Ipanema is obviously the big standout from this, but Stan Getz. This was just a smash hit, wasn't it? Christ, Girl from Ipanema is still the fucking hold music. If you don't get Green Sleeves, you get Girl from Ipanema and hold music. Anathema. This is the album from The Optimist from 2017, I want to say, 2017, on K-Scope. I was sent this by my friends at Burning Shed for something I did for them. Terribly nice of them to send me. Steely Dan, Two Against Nature. Despite the title, it's not just a version of the reunion album from 2000. It is kind of a greatest hit set with some tracks from that. So you do get like Cousin Dupree from that album, but you also get like Josie FM from FM, one of my favorite movies. Babylon Sisters, Shake It, Babylon Sisters, Shake It. Peg, Pretzel Lodge, somebody else trying to get me. That'll be Donald Fagen saying if I want to join up and replace Walter. God rest you, Walter. Talking to Stephen Wilson, Hand Cannot Erase. I've had this album before, but this is the Blu-ray edition. And again, Steve always packs these things. So you get the high-res stereo and 5.1 audio, 7 bonus tracks, Lassie, not the dog. Not often I make myself laugh at the bad joke, but that was sorry. Sorry, that's really self-indulgent of me. But the dog. Lastly, there's a studio documentary and there's instrumentals of the whole album. I'm sorry. Oh, you shouldn't laugh at your own jokes, but I'm sorry. If you can't entertain yourself, you can entertain. And then lastly, but certainly not least, and this is my message to all of you, thank you, friends. Big Star's third, Alive, and More. The and more being the operative word. Big Star's third is one of the classic Baroque albums of the 70s. It's pretty much an Alex Chilton cocaine record. But what you get here is, yeah, you do get that done. You get every track from it, but wait till you hear what else you get here if you're a Big Star fan. You ready? I'm in Love with a Girl with Pats and Sonny. Feel with King Stringfellow. September Girls with Mike Mills from R.E.M. 13 with Skylar Gunzans. The Ballad of El Goodo with Dan Wilson. Watch the Sunrise with Brett Harris. When My Baby's Beside Me with Jeff Tweedy. Jeff Tweedy from Milko. I Am the Cosmos, so we're even getting some solo Chris Bell in here. In the Streets with Brett Harris and Mike Mills. Kiss of Me with Jeff Tweedy coming back out. Oh Dana with John Hour. For You, Jodie from Big Star comes out for that with Luther Russell. Nighttime with Jeff Tweedy. Jesus Christ with Mike Mills, as opposed to the track Mike Mills with Jesus Christ singing the vocals. Hey. Take Care with Ira Kaplan. Big Black Car with Jessica Pratt. Blue Moon with Jodie Stevens. Stoke at Knoll with Ken Stringfellow. Downs with Robin Hitchcock. Dream Lover, Ken Stringfellow as well. Holocaust with Django Haskins. You Can't Have Me with Skylar and Mike Mills again. Mike Mills, God, he was out in this like a, well, I would say. Kangaroo from Third with Brett Harris. Give Me Another Chance with Dan Wilson. Thank You Friends is done by the ensemble, so that's the kind of I Shall Be Released. And You and Your Sisters, the bonus track with Pats and Sonny. And then you get a full Blu-ray of the concert. So you get a full concert and 2 CDs of it as well. It's just essential. So it's all these great indie and Americana acts paying tribute to the original indie act for me, man. Like, yeah, okay, there's been a million independent artists, but what we come to know as indie rock in the 90s, and power pop and things, all that infused jingling guitars, you can trace it back to Alex Chilton. You really can. So this really commemorates him, but also Big Star. That's what I love about it. It's not just about Alex's stuff. They do pay tribute to Chris Bell. Jodie's on here, you know, so it is a Big Star tribute, which is terrific. So, you know, they may as well have called it Big Star's Catalogue Live because they pretty much do all 3 albums here. And they only did 3 albums at the time. So, you know, pretty much is Big Star's Classic 3. Yeah, the Kronos Quartet are on there as well. Well, listen, that's everything. Planned. Well, now that I'm set up, once I move things around a little bit, I'm going to start having guests, especially now that I've got the Zoom all much better than it was on my own i thingy. Don't buy Apple, folks, unless Apple want to sponsor me. Steve Jobs, I'm here if you... Oh wait, he's dead, isn't he? Fuck. Bill Gates, are you still at Microsoft? If so, yeah. So next week I will be joining Ryan and Tyler on Ryan's channel to do Dario Argento movies. We're going to be covering the Animal Trilogy, Four Flies and Grey Velvet, Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and I forgot the fucking name of this other one again. Four Flies and Grey Velvet, Bird with the Crystal Plumage, Cat and Nine Tails. It's not called The Cow That Shot the Moon, despite what I said in the other video. And then we're also next week going to be starting our our review series on the U2 catalogue, which However, believe me, that will start well. I'm going to be very upbeat and positive for the first, what was that? Longer than you expect, I promise. Oh, and then wait till the 2000s. Oh my God, I'm going to be slicking back my hair. The sunglasses are going to come out and I'm going to become a right arsehole. Even more of an arsehole than I usually am. Yeah, bono parody. Listen, thanks very much for bearing with me for quite a lengthy update. You know, I don't do short vids too, let's be honest. And now again that I'm set up, you're going to be seeing people on this channel. You know, not just me. I'm sorry about that. I know you would prefer it if it was just me, but it gives me some other people to talk to. It's a bit indulgent of me to just go on to other channels as a guest and then not have people onto mine, you know. What am I to know? Jay Leno in the 70s and 80s? As long as I'm not Jay Leno in the 2000s. Conan, what's your job, mate? Hey, James Corden's leaving. I could take his job. I bet you'd watch that show if I was the host. They probably wouldn't allow me to because if James Corden's anything to go by, you can't be funny in that show. Listen, thanks very much for watching. Videos up and coming. Who knows what they are? But again, I'll tune into Orion's Vinyl Destination next week, and you'll find the U2 and Argento videos. I'll put a link in the description to Ryan's channel and a couple of friends. Grant's Rock Warehouse has already had a shout out. Sea Tranquility's had a shout out. The Contrarians fucking get a shout out. Tyler, of course, LP Tremors. He's changed the name now. It's LP Tremors, not LP Mormon. LP Tremors made another great video the other day about Motorhead Bourbon. Yeah. Somebody had to do it. Might as well be Tyler. I liked it. And he looks cool. See that Maverick, fella from Top Gun? He looks like that on the better. Top Gun 3, Tyler Gun. Yeah, I'd see that. Thanks very much for watching, folks. I'll let you away and have your tea. Do me a favour, though. Just be careful there, eh? Never know what's going to happen. Just be careful. Love and mercy, adios. Love and mercy. And this is Zoom, so I'm going to have to remember how I end this and don't delete everything. So, good luck.